I've learned that life is complicated, frustrating, messy, but worth living. Emily is so alive in every moment of her life, even the ones that she feels like she has nothing inside.
El próximo 5 de noviembre llega la temporada final de Dickinson, una serie que tenés que ver y no lo puedo creer porque están conectadas del otro lado sus protagonistas. Girls, are you there? Hailee, Anna.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Well, congrats for the show and thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
Well, girls, we saw the trailer, but what will happen with your characters? Tell me more, Hailee.
I can't. You gotta watch the show.
I watched the show, but tell me more for the fans.
Yes, of course. Well, it's so exciting to see, the trailer come out today and start to see the reaction from people and to hear that they already are waiting eagerly for more. So, yeah, I mean, there is a lot of growth within each character in this story, in this season. And I'm excited for people to see this season, for many reasons, of course, but one being I was personally particularly fascinated about this part of Emily's life, that it's known to be where she wrote the majority of her poems was during this time period, during the Civil War.
Right.
And knowing that she was able to do that, she was just so affected by everything that was going on in the world, everything that was going on within her family. This was also during a time where they were all feeling that grief and that hopelessness, and she was determined to keep that light shining within everyone and keep that hope alive. And so season 3 is her journey to do so.
Anna, is it true that in this season everything changes?
That's a good question. I think a lot does change. So much is changing in the country at this time period. It's leading up to the abolition of slavery. So obviously the entire social fabric of the country is being completely reworked. And at the same time, there's this huge conflict within the family. And something that I feel like I'm seeing as I get older is that it's so normal for families to have massive falling outs, especially actually in times of upheaval. I think America is incredibly divided right now, and a lot of families are feeling that internally. And so I do think a lot changes in that the characters are forced to reckon with things that they haven't been forced to reckon with yet on the show.
Hailee, what have you learned about life playing Emily Dickinson?
Well, I've learned that life is complicated, frustrating, messy, but worth living. Emily is so alive in every moment of her life, even the ones that she feels like she has nothing inside. And we can see that in her poetry. Her poetry it's so specific. And in order to be that specific, you have to be aware, you have to be open and present and alive. And even in Emily's, interpretation of death. In our show, death is a character that represents more life. It represents creativity and freedom and color and a space that you can go and think and be unapologetically who you really are. I've learned that it is absolutely worth the fight to stop at nothing for your own happiness and for your own strength and your own reasoning to be, again, who you are, and who you really are, and not who society tells you to be. Yeah, that would be a few things, I guess.
Well, thanks, girls, for your time. Congrats for this final season, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Si te gustó este video, dale like, compartilo en tus redes sociales y suscríbete a mi canal.